Okay. So with transformations, yes, it is new work, but remember you actually covered it in grade 6 already. So basically all you're doing now is for transformations, we're going to talk about translation. So that's when you move something. Okay, so when you move a shape. Reflection is when it's like a mirror and it reflects. Okay, cool. Thank you. So reflection is basically like if you look into a mirror, everything's kind of the opposite way around. And then rotation is when you're turning it. All right. And then the last ones, I don't know if you guys can remember, what's the other one that you had to do with these transformations? You are transforming it, yes, into bigger and smaller. That's the other way that you can transform a shape. So when you enlarge it and when you reduce it. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do today is I'm not going to talk about all the translating and reflecting and all that and performing it. I'm going to talk about symmetry first because that's the easiest section. So if you have to take a shape and you have to see that it is exactly the same on either side, that is called symmetry. Okay. So we've got a line of symmetry. When a shape is symmetrical, this is on page 272. When a shape is symmetrical, it means that the shape can be folded along a dividing line so that one half fits exactly onto the other. So it's like a butterfly. Have you ever seen a butterfly? Yes. Okay, where both wings are exactly the same. So if you have to cut it down the middle, both sides are going to be exactly the same. Okay, so what's going to happen now is you're going to get these shapes, and you need to see where is the line of symmetry. Okay, and if they are symmetrical, because some of them aren't. So like this one, if I have to cut it down the middle, will it be symmetrical? No. This way? No. This shape here? Yes. So that shape, if I cut it through the middle here, it will actually be folding onto each other, whereas this one might not. All right, because this side actually looks longer than that side. All right. Oh, sorry. My bad. But they've got it in their textbook. So. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to write the heading symmetry on top on a new clean page. Yeah. Yeah, we did stuff after that. So leave open 2 pages. Just hold on. Just hold on. Actually, we did a bit more than that. We did 2, 3, 4. So leave open 4 pages. I'll recount for you. I'll message you the numbers. Yes, Baklu, what was your question? Baklu, what was your question? 273. Well, if the last thing that you did was the properties of quadrilaterals, then you should have, I think it's 4 pages open. 2 for similarity and congruency, and 2 pages for the revision that we did. Okay. I will tell you now. Okay. So, new page in your book. You guys shouldn't write the date first, actually. Okay, symmetry. Right, so now that I've read this symmetry definition to you, or line of symmetry, what can you tell me it is? what can you tell me is the line of symmetry? Or what is symmetry first? I literally read it to you. Okay, I'm not going to ask Owen because he's actually reading again. Okay, Jihad. Yeah. No, somebody else's name's Jihad. Yeah. Okay, that's the line of symmetry. What is symmetry? A good thing, though, it's just the line of symmetry that you gave me. Yeah? Okay, good. So when two or more sides okay, and today is the 15th, eh? The 15th of June. No, write symmetry first, and then 15th of June. Or you can do it however you want to. It's fine. Or you can write 15 June up here. Not like that, obviously. Okay. Symmetry is when there are two or more sides that look exactly the same. And then we've got the line of symmetry. Okay, and Jihad, tell me what you said earlier. Perfect. A line okay, so if I have to cut the shape exactly in half, or yeah, along the dividing line, which is the line of symmetry, then that means that if I have to fold it over, it will be exactly the same. Okay, and then underneath you're going to do exercise 1. Okay, then you're going to rule a line with a ruler. No, you do it in pen. Okay, so for the first question, they just say to you that you must copy this line into your book, and then you must say which ones are symmetrical to each other. Or have lines of symmetry. It's here. Okay, then I want you to take a color for me. I'm going to use red so that you can see it. And then you're going to draw the lines of symmetry. So which signs are symmetrical? So you can try and see which ones are actually symmetrical. So say, for instance, if I look at the times, if I go right through the middle here and I have to cut it in half, it will fold onto each other. Okay? The same way is if I go this way and I cut it that way, it will fold onto each other. If I cut it down the middle, it will fold onto each other. Okay, so that's up to you to decide for the plus and the divide. Okay. And then for the next one, you're now doing your name. So, okay, so in capital letters, yeah. I'm not writing my full name. And you can all find me on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. No. Yes, Facebook. Old school. New school. Okay, so you're going to write your name in capital letters. Alright? And then you're going to do the same thing. Find if there is a line of symmetry. So an A, if I cut it down the middle, it's going to fold onto each other. The O has more than one A. Okay, C, R doesn't have one. Because if I go that way, I've got a loop and it's not going to create it. Alright? K, depending on how you write your K, okay, so my K is actually equal. But some people, they have a shorter top part. Alright, so it's up to you. Please don't copy my name into your book. Because I can see you all writing profusely. Okay, so then you're going to see if there are lines of symmetry in your name. Yeah. Yeah, plus and divide is on your own. Here. To the bathroom. Myra, did you go already? Yeah. Okay. Which of your letters in your name are symmetrical? So I've got C, A, D, O, and K. C, A, D, O, and K. Caddock. Okay, and then the last one that you're going to do for me is the shapes. So what I want you to do is actually draw the shape for me as accurately as possible. So if you look at the first shape over here, if you're looking in your book, you'll actually see that this is not the same length. So that's a bit shorter over here. At the top it's shorter, and at the bottom it's longer. So it won't be symmetrical. Okay? So even if you cut it that way, it won't be symmetrical. Why? Because that is longer, and you're missing a part here. Okay, you have to see those things. The star is symmetrical This one won't be. And then symmetrical and symmetrical. So I want you to try and draw it as accurately as possible into your books, and then try and show the lines of symmetry for it. Okay. So if you want, I can draw the first one for you, since that's the most confusing one. So it's short on top. Okay, that's a star, and try and see if you can draw a star as accurately as possible with my very bad star. Okay. Okay, so how many lines of symmetry? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okay, I'll go through it again. 1 down the middle, 2 across, 3 diagonal, 4. Okay, because it's a full line. And then you can do the rest for me. So drawing lines of symmetry. So remember, it's shown as a dotted line. Okay, that's the one thing. So after that, they say to you that you should cut out the shape. Oops. So you draw the shape. Do you guys know what trace means? To trace something. Okay, so you either trace the outline of the shape, or otherwise you copy the shape. Yeah? No, just carry on underneath. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I want you guys to just have it in your book. Okay, so then you cut out the shape after you've drawn it. And then you fold.
got laptop. She's trying to fill it out now. And then she'll send it back to us. Okay.
Yeah. So finish the exercise first and then do it. Yes. That's fine. Okay, so now what's going to happen is, I'm just going to show you what happens when you do it. So you've written down the steps, and now I'm just going to show it to you. So we're going to draw a rectangle. Let's make it 4 lines. Okay, so I'm drawing my rectangle. No, you don't need to draw it. There we go. Okay, so I've drawn my rectangle. You don't need to draw it, hey? I'm just showing you what it looks like. Alright, so you draw your rectangle, then you cut it out, and then there's my shape. Cool? Then it says to you, fold the paper in half. So I've folded it in half. Do you see it's exactly the same? Okay. So then I unfold it, and what I do is I take my ruler and I put in my dotted line. So I've got one line of symmetry already. So I'm going to do the same thing this way. Okay, so it's the same. So my dotted line goes in the middle. Do you think it can go diagonally? Okay, some people are saying yes. Okay, so diagonally, I'm going to try and take that corner here and that corner there and see if I match them. Is it the same? No. So that means that it does not have a diagonal line of symmetry. Okay. But in a square, it will have. Alright. It's only different in a rectangle. Why? What's the one thing that's very different from a rectangle and a square? Angela? Come on, it's easy. Okay, the sides are different. So that's correct. So this side is shorter and this side is longer. So that's what's going to affect it. So if the sides are all the same, then it will be equal. And then you have more lines of symmetry. Okay. Alright, so that's basically what they told you over here. So you don't have to do it. It's just an example. What I want you to do next is exercise 2. And that is going to be it for maths today. Okay, so exercise 2. is on page 275. Okay, and then you rule it out. Right, so it says copy the following shapes into your book and onto a separate piece of paper. Fold the shapes onto the pieces of paper to find out the lines of symmetry. Then use a ruler to draw all of the lines of symmetry for each of the shapes in your book. So what I suggest you do is you take out your exam pad, okay, and you draw it onto your exam pad. You cut it out. And when you're done, and you've done all the lines of symmetry on that folded piece of paper, you take that piece of paper and you just stick it into your book. Okay. No, I'm just telling you to do it for fun. Of course you must do it. That was the instruction. Okay. So what you're going to do, you're going to do the same thing as what I've done. So you're going to take those shapes, draw it on an exam pad. Okay, cut them out, do the lines of symmetry. All you're going to do after that is then you're going to take it, pluck it in your book, and then you're done. Okay, so you don't actually need to redraw it in your book. Yes? Okay, well then you can do it at home. Then you have to do it at home. Do it at home, yeah. So you can do it now in class, draw the shapes, and then you can take it home and then cut it out at home. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I will leave this up for you for those who haven't copied it down yet. But over, I think, tonight. So from tonight, I will put up notes for you. I'll put up notes for you on the transformations. Okay, so on the rotating, on the transforming, not transforming, translations, all those kinds of things. Okay, so I'm going to put those notes on the Google Drive tonight. So you can either write it down tonight or you can write it down tomorrow. Okay? Yes? Hey? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. If you guys haven't done your English yet, then if you've done your English, then that's fine. So that's what I'm saying. I'm going to put it on tonight so that you don't have to do it tomorrow. But if you don't want to do it tonight, then you do it tomorrow. Okay, so maybe, let's see if maybe Ms. Rabo will let us do it later today if we're not doing any other subjects. Okay, I know you guys are going to do English today, but yeah. Okay, so it's basically just what is translation, what is reflection, what is rotation, and how does it work. Okay, so it's just small little things that you need to just write about. Hey? Take down your mask, I can't hear you. You leave your scissors at home. So it's the same thing as what I said to equal. So draw it in your exam pad, take it home, and then you cut it out at home. So then you cut it out at home. Or you bring your scissors for Wednesday. Okay. Alright, so I'm actually not letting you doing the transformations, or I didn't start with transformations today because you need to have grid paper. So I want to see if I can print that out for you first. Alright, so that's all for today, just those two exercises. And this is pretty much what we're going to have to do for the week. So all we're doing is moving shapes, flipping shapes, all those kinds of things, and making them bigger and smaller. And that's all for this week. Okay. So I've pretty much covered most of it already. Alright.